Yo, what's up, everyone, and welcome back to another No Frame Left Behind podcast. Today, I have my boy Jay. I'll go ahead and have him, talk a little bit about himself, what he does as a creator, and then we'll jump onto the topic for today. So go ahead, bro, and tell everybody. And first of all, thank you for coming as well.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for having me, bro.
Yeah, so go ahead and tell everyone what you do. Your Instagram, all that.
So my name is Jay, better known as 26does. Director, DP. Just creative filmmaker. I've been doing it for fun for like 10 years, but full time probably about 3. Freelancer, and you know how hard that is, bro.
Yeah.
When you get started.
So 3 years in, bro. Okay,
Yeah.
I like that. So you're 3 years in as a freelance filmmaker, and today we're gonna talk about the financial part as a filmmaker, as a creative. I feel like a lot of us jumping into it, a lot of us get into it because we love it.
Yeah.
Majority of us, right? So a lot of us, we're not taught like save your money, because freelance, nothing's guaranteed the next month. The month after that, you can have a really good month, and the next month you have like 10% of what you made the month before, right?
Yeah.
So like holding yourself down and being smarter with that, because like we were talking before this podcast, being a camera gear whore type of person, bro, you can go broke. You can be on credit card debt because camera gear is not cheap. So
I learned that shit the hard way, bro.
So tell me about that, bro. So how are you financially as far as like as a freelance? How do you balance that? Like, I really would like to know you. And of course, hopefully a lot of creators get to learn as well.
I mean, it's crazy because I think for me, it was kind of like tough learning that shit because when I first started this, I started full time because of the pandemic, bro. Like, I think like, the pandemic fucking sucked for everybody.
Yeah.
But I think like, some of us, like it kind of helped like kickstart something or help change something. So I was working full time, and then, I had saved up enough money to buy my first camera and like a gimbal and stuff. And I was like, all right, cool. Like, I get to do this on the weekends or whatnot. But then when the pandemic happened, I got laid off, and I was like, bro, I was just like, what am I gonna do? I had never been laid off in my life. Like, I was just like in a hole basically. And like I was talking to my wife, and she was like, yo, like you have all this free time, like why don't you focus on your craft? And I got laid off. I was getting the unemployment checks, and that gave me the opportunity to go all in, you know what I mean? So I went all in. I started buying more gear. I got to work, get my clientele up, and like I was lucky because I had that kind of cushion from the unemployment checks and from the pandemic checks to be like, hell yeah, I'm gonna go buy lights, I'm gonna go buy lenses, I'm gonna go buy camera bodies, you know what I mean? So once that money ran out, I was kind of like, oh shit, I don't have a safety net anymore. Like I can take on a client, and like the next day I have no paycheck. Like I don't have that stimulus check no more. I don't have like, now I gotta really grind, So I think like that first year, I would say it was honestly like a blessing for me to be able to do what I love without, having to worry about finances. And then the second year was when I really started like, all right, like I can't buy all this gear anymore, bro. Like I can't go out and just buy a new light because I want to, It's like, nah, that money has to go to the rent now. And I think it wasn't until like last year where I really started learning like, all right, you can't like max out your credit card and know you're gonna be able to pay it back just cause like, a stimulus check is coming or something. Like you really gotta like sit down, like you were saying earlier, like put your budget together and make sure you have enough to last you, like if you don't get another job, you know what I mean? And I think that's a big thing. Like I heard you say that when you were like save up for a year, and in my head I'm like, God damn, bro, like this motherfucker's prepared. Cause like me as I guess like as a minority, like my parents, they weren't rich, they weren't like financially literate, and just like them being like, yeah, you gotta save a little bit of money for a rainy day. But then hearing you say like, nah, you gotta save up for a whole year to make sure you have enough to cover all your expenses just in case, work is slow. I'm like, damn, that just fucking put everything into a whole new perspective, like now I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna have to start putting away for a whole year. Cause yeah, like you said, when shit gets slow, it's like as a freelancer, it's like, bro, you don't eat. You know what I mean?
And it's always good to like, it's like one is for safety net, to have on the backbone. But even for like today, at least, I don't know if you're seeing it, but I'm seeing it. The economy is like, it's going bad.
Yeah.
The market's crashing. Everything's going bad in the U.S. So having that type of money, bro, you're not fearing like, oh, what if this month I don't get that type of money? Well, you prepared yourself at least a year gap. You don't need to prepare that long, but for me personally, I'm like, dude, a year, you're not gonna kill yourself in your head like, fuck, man, like the world is crashing, and like you're not thinking that. You were prepared for it. And it's just, it's kind of like mentally, like you're preparing yourself like so you don't become stressful. Because that's the only thing I was like before I even had like the mindset of like saving up. I was spending it. I was buying camera gear. And then it clicked on me one time when I bought a Panasonic S1H. So I had about 10 grand saved up or something. The S1H with everything, I think I walked out with like paying $6,000. And I did it like 3 shoots and each one was $2,000. Maybe one was $1,000, maybe another one was $2,000. I don't know what it was, but it took me 3-4 jobs to cover the camera. I'm like, bro, the camera before the S1H, which is I think the GH5, was doing the same exact job. Why am I upgrading? I'm not making no money. Like, yeah, I'm making money, but then I'm gonna go and buy camera gear, and then I go back to what is like, I'm starting all over again. I'm not really making anything. It's really like you're paying me, I'm putting it back into a camera, but if the camera is working, why do I keep buying new things? Why do I keep doing these things? So the S1H started corrupting on me and stuff like that. But at that point, I already started like preparing. I started saving money. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sell everything that's S1H, all my Panasonic lenses, Canon lenses, all that stuff. And I went switched into the Sony A7S III line. And all I said was, dude, I'm gonna switch, buy all the lenses, and that's it. I don't have to look at a new camera, I don't care what comes out. I don't care about that. And that's what I did. And you start seeing the camera pay off, the lenses got paid off, and then you just start stacking, bro. And then you finally start seeing like, yo, I really have money. And then that money you can start investing it, bro, into different things. Because as a creator, bro, just being in one income, it's scary, bro. I was there where, again, I was freelancing before the pandemic hit. So I remember I was 50 grand in debt on that one. 50 grand during that time. When it hit, bro, I paid off 2 credit cards. I had 8 grand and I paid 2 credit cards. I think I had 1,000 remaining in my account. Next month, my expenses were 1,500 just off credit cards. So I was like, bro, I don't even have money, and the world just shut down on me. So that also made me see a perspective like, you can't have this again, bro. Like, this cannot happen. You gotta have money. So if the world crashes, you have money. Like, it just prepared me differently, bro. And then my dad always used to tell me, because I was always broke, dog. The majority of my life, I was broke. I mean, to this moment, I'm not rich, but at least financially, I'm smarter. But my dad was always like, well, stop buying car parts. Stop buying these stupid things. I'm like, man, I need to live my life. Shut up, this and that. And then it got to the point where, like, the pandemic hit, and I saw everything. And that's when I was like, you know what? As a creator, like, and that's why, we want to bring this topic. We're not taught any of that responsibility, any way to prepare. We're just taught, like, buy the latest camera gear, go shoot. But no one's telling us how to prepare, how to save, do these smarter decisions. Every creator that I know, majority of them, bro, they're on credit card debt, or they don't have a lot of money saved up. And I'm like, as a creator, I don't know how you are, but for me, bro, I love this shit, right? I really enjoyed filmmaking and all that. So my goal was, I want to do this for free if I could one day. How do I do that? Well, I got to do businesses outside of filmmaking or having a studio. Anything that can bring a lot of income, so I could do free videos if I want to. I do have that option. I want freedom. I don't want to, I hate, one day I remember I told myself, it's probably like 2 years ago, I was like, bro, I have not picked up my camera for fun in a long time that I can't even count. It's been over a year. And I told myself, this can't be. I need to pick it up for fun. What do I got to do to fucking make this shit fun again? Because right now it's feeling like a job, and I'm not liking it. And that's how everything transitioned. The first studio came about. That was Mariland Studios. And that one, I didn't do it for Peerspace. I did it to have fun, film, bring my artists, have a little fun space. Became a Peerspace without expecting it. But once I saw that kicking off, blowing up, I'm like, oh shit, let me jump into it. And the second one, let me legit do it for Peerspace. But again, you can't invest in these type of studios or into any other business without having a savings.
Yeah.
Because you can't throw your whole money. But I've always been a fan of don't get a loan to open up a business. Do it with your own money. If all shit fails, you could always go get a loan to hold you down. But don't get something that you don't even know what's guaranteed. Save up, and have that money in case something does happen. For a creator, maybe all that money you saved up, maybe, hey, now it's time to get a studio. Mm-hmm. Jump in, get a studio. All that money you saved up, you're investing it. That's fine. I've taken losses where I had like a lot of money and I spend a lot of it on investment. And if it didn't work out, I mean, that's just, but again, save up again after that. But that's another reason why I also say safety for a whole year. 6 months is like a good amount, but that's extra 6 months. That's money to invest into something.
It's crazy because like a couple weeks back, I read this quote that said, be financially responsible so that you can be creatively reckless. And I'm like, yo, dang, like that shit hit me, bro. Because I think, like you said, as creatives, we just do this shit for the passion, bro. Like, we love this shit. And, like, when it starts to be like, I need to do it so I can make ends meet, that kind of kills the whole passion, bro.
Or you have to take on a cheaper job because you got to pay the bills.
And that don't feel good, you know what I mean? And I think I'd rather, like you said, I'd rather shoot for free and have my money coming from somewhere else than have to, I'll take a $500 gig just because I need the money. You know what I mean? And like, I completely feel you on that, bro.
And I have a lot of directors that I know personally that they take, they always tell me like, hey, how do you get these type of artists or these budgets? I'm like, dude, I mean, they just come at me. Like, I don't look for them. Mm-hmm. But then I look at their Instagram. They're like, bro, like, what is it? I'm like, bro, you're shooting a lot of running gun videos. You're showing that you're just doing it for the money, bro. There's no quality. There's no style to you. And you're not going to get clients like that if you post that. So by you being financially smart and not being a day-to-day creator, then, you're able to say no to these lower jobs to only wait for the right jobs. And I always say, just because it's slow does not mean it's bad. Sometimes the slow times that you're not getting booked up, use that time to market yourself. Use that time to figure out a new skill set in the filmmaking world, right? There's always things to do. It's not just like, oh, it's not booking. Let me go ahead and do deals this month or this week or the whole month. Like, no. As a creator, you're learning so much. Why all of a sudden you got to drop a deal? Like, bro, you worked so hard to get to this, and then just to fucking throw away, your skill set. Like, nah, you got to value that. So, it's like, you just look at, for example, like what did my boy say? Walmart. Like the inflation went up, right? What happened? They charge everything. Filmmakers are dropping their prices. And freaking these companies are uplifting their prices. Like, it makes no sense. And the why is because a lot of us are not financially prepared. We're just freaking living day to day. And a lot of the times I blame self-awareness on directors because they're just spending and stuff like that, or they're not making enough and they're doing this as a freelance. We're like, hey, bro, if you're not booking these type of clients or that type of money, dude, go get a part-time job. Nothing wrong with that. But stop trying to do this freelance just to put yourself on social media. Hey, look at me, I'm a full-time freelance, but you're broke. Like, there's no way you should be doing. There's nothing wrong, bro, getting a side job until your freelance filmmaking career goes good.
I've seen people that, like, they're making good money, bro, like doing something creative, and they still got a 9-to-5. Like, they'll do both. They'll do, like, no fucking lie. I see you, bro, and you're like up till like fucking 3-4 in the morning, and then you're back up like at 7 doing something. And I'm like, how the fuck does he do this shit? You know what I mean? Like,
I take naps.
No, but I'm like, bro, I'll be asleep. Like, I sleep 6 hours and I wake up and I'm like, I'm fucking tired. I'm like, I'll be at the computer, but I'm like, I'm tired as shit. And then I see you be fucking playing ball, and then you be like, shooting a video,
smacking my boy over there in basketball.
But I like, and I think there's enough time. Everybody gets the same 24 hours. And I think if you really have that passion and you need to make ends meet, you'll get a fucking part-time or you'll get a 9 to 5, whatever it might be, and then you'll still do your creative thing, you know, like on the side. I don't think there's an issue with that. You know what I mean?
And a prime example I could tell you, bro, is when the pandemic hit and I lost all business, right? Because the world was shut down for a bit.
Yeah.
I had so much. I always wanted to be, I guess, YouTuber or whatever. Peter McKinnon was like my idol type of thing. I was like, man, and I looked at all my work and I've always wanted to do it. And at that moment when the world shut down, I was like, bro, there's no excuses now. And I have all these music videos, all this work to show for that I can just literally use that content. How I did this shot, how I did this. And I was posting 5 videos per week for a whole 4 or 5 months on YouTube. And then that translated to me working with Nanlite, translated with me meeting directors. Bro, it opened up so many doors for me. And that's, again, bro, like the slow times, there's ways to utilize that to make it more for you. It's not about, I didn't go out there, hey, let me charge $200 for a music video. Nah, I just said, okay, it's slow. What can I do to
build your brand
and build myself, my brand on this free time? And for some people it could be marketing. For me it was branding because I didn't have a brand. So I was like, okay, let me do YouTube, all this work. And it was like 12-hour days every day, posting 5 videos per week until I eventually slowed down because you ran out of content. But bro, I did it for like a whole 3 months, 4 months, bro. It's just a gang of shit, bro. And that's how it worked out. But that all happened from the pandemic. I didn't take it as a loss. I was like, okay, it's finally slow. I'm able to sit back.
You have that time now.
And I had the time. Because I wasn't going anywhere with it, bro. At that moment, I also took time. I don't know if you were following me at that time, but I did 2 live performances in my parents' backyard. And I did it with...
I think I saw one of them.
You did one?
With the pavos?
With the pavo tooth.
Yeah.
And that was when I learned... I took that time, that free time to learn how to light in my backyard. There's a shed in the back and a bunch of plants. And I was like, how am I going to cover this where he looks like he's in a black studio stage? And I fucking learned lighting, separation. That's where I learned everything. And my girl will tell you, it took... Bro, I fucking... Just to set that up, 3 hours... in the backyard, had to put my dogs away, take all the things from my fucking room all the way over there, all the way to the backyard, set everything up. Artist comes, or maybe the artist didn't come. Maybe it was me and my homie fucking around with a scene or something. Yeah. And then bringing it down, bro, it was like 5 a.m, burned out, and I had to put everything, bro. I made no excuse. I was like, bro, I can learn lighting, and I was passionate about it. But I took the slowest months of my life in freelance to put myself to a better position when everything kind of started opening up. Yeah. But I think that's the main thing as a creator. It's like, just the slow months does not mean it's slow. Like, use that time. Exactly. It's a time that's valuable.
Nah, I think that's true. Because, every time that something's been slow, like one of my older homies told me that too. He's like, it doesn't mean like you just like don't do shit and you just cry about it. He was like, when times are slow, that's when you have free time to actually like build yourself up, to learn, to like, what can you do to come back better, to come back stronger? You know what I mean? And I think, like you said, having some cash saved up, having some, like stability is when you're able to be like, all right, like, let me take some time and let me go hard at my shit, at my brand. You know what I mean?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So one thing it happened to me twice. It's funny. So, I want to talk to you because you got the Komodo. So I had a GH5 when I started filmmaking, right? Mm-hmm. It did a hell of a job, bro. And then everyone's dream as a filmmaker. Today, things are starting to change. People are cool with DSLRs, mirrorless. But a lot of creatives, their dream is always still, I want a cinema camera. I want a Red, a Ari. So I bought the Evo 1 cinema camera. I fucking hated it. It's big, it's bulky, gimbal, this going to handheld to gimbal. It was a nightmare, bro. Sold it, went into S1H route. 2 S1Hs, did the job, bro. Did that. But I spent money to get a cinema camera and it didn't work out. But it was cool. It was the first time. I should have rented it, but I bought it. It was my first time. I took I used it for about a year, but I hated it so much. So then I sold it. Fast forward to like recently, I think like 7 months ago, I bought the FX6. Had it for a week, sold it. And I was like, why? Why did I purchase those? So these are the dumb financial decisions filmmakers sometimes make. Yeah. Why did I get a $7,000 or I think it was $7,000 for the FX6 or whatever the price was? Why did I spend so much on that when the A7S III gives me the same image, same look? It had better autofocus because that FX6 was losing autofocus a lot. Smaller, compact, gave me the same money. I got the same budgets. It didn't matter. Why did I get that? And it's because a lot of us creators, our goals are the cinema camera. The cinema camera. That's what we want. We strive. Oh, we can get bigger budgets. A lot of the times, if you're not in that market, that's not the case. You end up hurting yourself because you got yourself in a big ass $7,000, debt. For you to just get to that, if you're not getting that in one job, or maybe 3 jobs, I don't know. Like you're starting to work for free. Like sometimes, and I told myself after the FX is like, I'm never buying a fucking cinema camera again. If the budget is there, I'm just gonna pay someone to bring their camera. They know it.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna because I don't see myself using. The Komodo's smaller, but for me, I don't see myself using cinema cameras. Like the Komodo, I know the autofocus. I see some people using it. It's not bad. But tell me, what did you think when you did that financial move? Like, hey, because I know the Komodo goes for how much? 6,000-7,000, just the body.
I think it's like 7, for the body.
7 for the body. I'm pretty sure it runs to like 10 grand with everything, right?
Yeah,
something like that. So 10 grand. What was your thought process behind it? Do you regret it? I like to know. For a lot of people out there, I know a lot of people are always looking for the Komodo. That's like
I think it's if you have the clientele who are willing to pay that budget, who are, it's going to be an asset and not just, I have a red, because for me personally, I remember when I started with the Sony A7 III, and when I was shooting with that after a year, I was I would tell my homie I'm gonna get a red soon. I want to get a red. That was our goal, is to get a red. And I was I can't wait to get a red. I saw myself getting a red in 5-10 years, and I had the opportunity. I moved up to a Blackmagic 6K Pro, and that wasn't that bad. It was only $2,500, which it was it's an amazing camera for that price. But I moved up to red because there was certain gigs that I actually lost because I didn't have a red. I didn't know how to use a red. And I was damn, I need to educate myself and get to that level, I think right now I'm at a, damn, it's kind of there's some stuff that I regret about it and some stuff that I don't, because the Komodo is so light, bro, and so small that it's kind of I have my Sony A7 III, yes. I can carry it here. I can do handheld without my back hurting all the time. And I think that's such a dope camera. I love the image quality. I love everything about it. I just I don't necessarily have that, I can't justify me paying the 10 grand I paid for that package right now. I can't be that was a wise investment, if anything, I just showed you that last video I showed you. That was on the Blackmagic. And I'm bro,
I thought it was on the red.
Yeah, I know you shoot with the red. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
And that's why, I saw it and I'm bro, the colors look incredible. And it's a Blackmagic, you know what I mean? And I'm just I could have gone with the Blackmagic for a couple more years and been cool and still,
and profit,
make more money. But, I bought the red. And I love it. I love the image quality. I love that I'm getting to learn, all right, this is how the red processes everything, this is how the colors look. It's really dope. But like I said, I could have just stayed with the Blackmagic. And I think, like you said, it's all about we follow all these creators who oh, I got this camera, check out the new gimbal, check out the new whatever that someone puts out. And you feel you're bro, I'm missing out, Yeah. And I think you were one of the few people that I've seen. I remember when I saw you post about the FX6, and I'm oh damn, he's moving up to the cinema cameras. And then you were fuck this, I'm going back to the A7. And I was just damn, you're one of the few people I've ever seen be you know what, I don't need this. And it's crazy because, yeah, like until recently, like I said, I've learned where it's like, bro, like I don't need, like crazy expensive gear to make it look good. I just need to master the gear I have. And I feel like I mastered the Black Magic to where I'm comfortable shooting anything with it. Like, you could put me on that camera and I'll be like, yeah, you want this? Yup. You want me to pull focus myself? Yeah, cool. I'll do everything on that camera. I know how to make it look good. And like I said, there's very few people who can make the Sony A7 look good. And you're one of those people. And I think it's because you spend so much time, like, just like, all your settings. Your camera. When I was on that shoot with you and I was like, you don't use false colors? And you were like, no, but I know it looks good. And that shit look good. And it's because, I think people just get like, especially us as creatives, we're like, oh, we can get like the top notch, and that's going to make our work better. But it's like, nah, it's you learning the tools you have. That's going to make your work better. You don't need to spend 10 grand on a camera to come out with a sick ass video.
I think the other thing too, bro, is I know a lot of creators here and there, they'll tell me like, oh, like they'll post it on their stories on Instagram. We're charging, or not even charging. He's like, I have all this gear, and these people are thinking like, man, what the fuck? Lenses are this, cameras this. They're saying lighting. They're putting all this price, like, and you want me to charge this much? But I think that what creators are missing the point on is it's not the gear you gotta value, it's your mind, because every director has a creative mind.
Yeah,
that's the most valuable thing. Get the best creator a fucking iPhone and watch him outdo everybody with a Red Ari, because it's the mind. Like, of course you gotta know lighting and everything, but you can't put that as far as a price. You can, obviously, you're gonna include it in there, but that shouldn't be your primary. Your primary thing should be your mentality and what you bring to the table.
Yeah,
your knowledge. Like I told somebody, if you're gonna charge someone, like, for example, someone might charge you 500, I might charge them 2,000, right? 2,000. Why so much? Because if something goes wrong on set, you're not gonna notice, because I'm gonna counter that.
Yeah.
You don't see that. I'm gonna see it, but you're not gonna know.
It's your skills and your experience, bro.
All that, bro. And like the people you're bringing people that are solving issues and all that. So, having all these like expensive cameras and like, it's, if you're in the clientele, cool. But yeah, a lot of the times, bro, I feel like us creators, we just tend to like, oh, a cinema camera. Like, yeah, one day we're gonna get a cinema camera. Yeah. I thought the same thing. The Evo 1 was like, okay, I regret it. And then like years later, I was like, oh, the FX6. Paired with the A7S III. I shot 2 music videos and I was like, fuck this camera. Yeah. I was like, I don't see no difference with the image. The Sony's just, again, quick to go handheld again. Like, I just saw how stressful it was. And a lot of people be like, well, bigger projects require. I've shot 30 grand projects with with the S1H. And I shot also 30 grand projects with the A7S III. The difference is you got to know how to talk as well business. It's not just being a creator. It's also being a business person. So if they're not even talking about the camera, they're not saying no Red, no Ari. Why are you saying, oh, I got to rent this camera? They're asking for what they're seeing out of you, what you're able to provide. Not the camera. It's what are you providing to make the money. For example, Candy, right? The first time I shot with her, they wanted me to get a Steadicam. They wanted me to get a Red. So total package is going to be $3 grand for the Steadicam, the Red, and the AC and all that shit. With lenses and everything. It was going to be like $3 grand. Once I saw that, I was like, and I never worked with them. I was like, man, this is too much. It's a big project. You're giving me all this. But I was like, you know what? Look, you saw that video you saw? That was shot on the A7S III. Like, trust me. Let's do that camera. You're not going to tell a difference. It's going to look good. We're not shooting outdoors. We're shooting all studio. It's the lighting. The lighting's going to set you what you want. Trust me on this. They're like, let's go with it. I was like, you're not going to tell. Like, you see those videos, they're shot with the A7S III. And sometimes it's, as a creator, it's knowing how to talk to somebody to level down. But big labels, they're going to want the Red. That's understandable. Yeah. But to some people, if you could save them money, like, look, that $3 grand, I could use you could save $3 grand, not $3 grand. You could save $2 grand. And that 1,000, let me put that towards like 2 more people to help on set. Yeah. And I did that. And when they saw it, bro, I never heard them say, yeah, you're right. Like, they just like, they're excited. Yeah. And it was like, I told you, like, you don't need it. Like, if you're shooting outdoors, maybe dynamic range can play a big role. Yeah. But, there's a lot of ways to counter a negative on a camera. It's like same thing for the Komodo. It sucks in low light. But with lighting and all, there's ways to counter negative things. So.
It's crazy because it is like, at the end of the day, it's the end product, bro.
That's
like
the most
it
valuable.
don't matter what gear you used. If that shit looks dope, like that shit looks dope. People are gonna be like, I want a video from that dude, cause you know that video was dope. But I've seen videos and I've actually shot stuff where I'm like, cool, like I have a red now, like the image is gonna look sick, and you know I do it the same way. I light it, or I try to use it in a certain scenario, and it's like, nah,
Look the same.
this does not look good. Like I should have used this camera instead, you know. But I think it's like, yeah, bro, as long as you master your gear and as long as you know what you're doing on set, like it doesn't matter if you have a fucking
Crazy ass
camera, a big ass steady cam, like as long as you know how to use the gear you have for the shot that you want, that's all that matters. I don't think
Like I get a lot of people that hit me up on Instagram. Oh, bro, like for example, there's like a different perspective example. Oh, bro, you colored this dope, bro. Like DaVinci. I'm like, nah, it's Premiere.
yeah.
Like they don't even know. Like everyone's telling me, oh, you should hop into DaVinci. I keep telling every person that likes to color, bro, like show me something that I can't do in Premiere to make me want to learn that, because everyone that's doing DaVinci Resolve, I'm like, dude, I get the same type of thing because I light up for my color grade. So every scene I light up, I look at the whole image. I'm like, I can color this, I can change this, I can do that. So unless someone shows me, like a lot of people think I color in DaVinci. And so again, it comes like you said, mastering your craft. Like, yeah, I get it. DaVinci might have some certain things, but I have yet to see someone do DaVinci where I'm like, dude, you did that there? Like, fuck, yeah, you know what? I got to learn it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that yet. Like, if you're shooting movies, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of, like, tools. But music videos, commercial work, a lot of the times, bro, like, Premiere is going to do the fucking job. And Lumetri color and, like, knowing how to HSLs and learning how to, like, adjustment layers and, like, mess with all that, dude, it's like you can do a lot. And one thing that I learned is when you touch HSLs in Premiere Pro, and it's a good tip for everybody when it comes to color grading, there's like a, when you click on HSL, the color, there's like a denoise and another one. I think, I don't know.
Blur?
What is blur?
Blur, yeah.
Use a skin tone to touch that thing and go up high, and it takes away the sharpness of the digital look of a Sony A7S. And that's why my videos don't look sharp, because it takes it away. You soften the shit out of it, and you're gonna color the skin tone, so it's gonna take away the sharpness. And then do it again and flip the opposite way. It's gonna take away the background sharpness and everything, so it keeps it like a subtle look.
Yeah.
No one knows the shot with it.
Like that. What is it called? There's like a blur that DaVinci has.
I think I know what you're about. It's like a denoiser kind of thing.
It's not it's like a bloom. Like it blooms it a little bit. I forgot what it's called, but I used it once and I'm like, yo, this shit makes a huge difference. And I'm like, if Premiere had that, like I would probably stick with Premiere.
So the bloom, I mean, I guess it's probably it's easier in DaVinci. So John, he knows how to bloom things through Premiere. I don't know how to do that, but he blooms it. When I'm like, oh, you bloomed that, huh? He's like, yeah. I was like, oh shit. So you don't even need ProMist. ProMist, obviously for skin tone, you're gonna want it. But as far as like the windows and shit, he knows how to bloom things. So it's like, you know, that always comes down to like, if you know how to master something, you know, for you, like if you're doing it with DaVinci and you know it, stick to that. You know, that makes sense. But like for me, like this dude can do the other little things that I might want, and then the majority as far as coloring, Premiere does it. And I think it's a lot of us is like, it's our own problem kind of influencing ourselves the wrong way. Like, hey, get a cinema camera, or hey, jump into DaVinci. Instead of like telling them to learn a new software that Premiere was already doing, just because everyone's saying that's the color grading platform to be at, you could have used that time to make more money to market and brand yourself. Use that time, you know. And then the goal is you shouldn't always have to be at your shoots or do everything to make the money. You should be having a team eventually. Yeah. So, you know, like focus less on trying to do a little bit of everything and outsource your stuff. Yeah. That should be the goal. Because a real owner, a real person, bro, you don't do it all. Yeah. You know, like Cole Bennett, you think he edits it, but you think he does it all, bro? No, he has his VFX people, and he puts it on there as VFX people. He doesn't do everything, bro. Because there's a limit to that, what we can do. And we know when there's better out there, or just, you know, hand it off.
I think that's a lot to do with like wanting to have like control, or like having that ego. Yeah. Because like you were saying earlier about the whole you know, hiring people that know more than you, or hiring people that are, you know, better than you at certain things. And it's like, I've always wanted that, bro. I never want to be the smartest person in the room. I always want to go in and be like, all right, what can I learn from this person? Because it's like, you're only going to get better doing that. You know what I mean? You're only going to grow. And there's no point being like, all right, I'm the top dog here. Like, feeling like you're the shit. And then, like,
there's no one.
Yeah, everybody's just lost.
Someone better could, like, always give you better options or better alternatives. Like the shoot that for Patrick when we brought him in. One thing he taught me, like, for me, it was always like fog it up to just a right amount and that's it. And he kept saying fog it. I'm like, what is this guy talking about? But for me, I was silent because I know where he shoots and what he does. So I'm like, I'm just going to see what he's doing. Yeah. If I don't like it at the end, I'll be like, nah, but let me see. And when I saw everything he was doing, I was like, bro, this guy keeps fogging and fogging. Like, he literally fucks up the whole place up, and then he starts flagging it. Yeah. Smoothens it out, and dude, it looks so good. So then I shot a music video here in my school, and I told John, fog it 5 times, full max. Keep letting it run. When it stops, fog it again. And then we're going to flag it. He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, bro, I learned something from Patrick. Watch this. And then I don't know if you saw the frames of the school. I did like 4 frames. Mm-hmm. Bro, like, if you look at the classroom, I have never got a shot like that. And I got it because I learned from Patrick how to get the haze, to get that atmosphere a certain look where it's not so flat. Yeah. Like, and obviously window lighting was coming in, so it just gave it like a nice, it wasn't over nasty, overpowering, or taking away the contrast. It was doing what it was supposed to do. Yeah. And I learned that from having someone better than me.
Exactly.
So that was like a big, something dope that I was able, I took not a loss, but I took less money so I can learn from someone better. Yeah. That was a good thing.
Yeah, I think that's another thing, bro. Like, that's another topic that just fucking letting go your ego, you know what I mean? Yeah. Cause I think, like, especially, in this industry, I think you could have like that issue where it's like, nah, like, I'm the best. And it's like, nah, bro, like,
I thought that at one point, and I was like, nah, I can't. Like, I was like, nah, I don't like this shit. Yeah. It's fucking annoying. Like, you want someone to tell you something like, oh, you're right, or catch something that you can't catch.
It don't feel like you're growing if you
feel like stalled. Kind of like
it's just like
you plateaued.
Yeah. So I don't like that, bro. I like being, I always say, like, I'm always going to be a student, bro, no matter what.
Because that's how you grow. Yeah. You don't stay put. Yeah. So to finish this off, bro, what is it that you'll tell any creative out there as far as financial wise? What would you like to do different? And then what would you give an advice to all creators out there as far as financial? Because it's the one topic we don't talk about a lot. And I feel like we should all help each other.
I would say don't be influenced by those commercials, by those brands, like, master your shit. Master your equipment, master, all the skills you need to make your work better. Like, it's not the gear, it's the person behind the gear. So that's what I would say. And save your money.
And for me will be, before you buy a new product, ask yourself, is it really worth it? Or are you really getting it? Like, what's the reason behind that? Right? So for me, like the new Aperture AMRAMs that came out, I have all the lights already, bro. But for me, it was like, oh, these are small little things that you can hide on low ceilings. It's worth it. Yeah. I solved that. But as far as, like, let's say you have the DJI Ronin RS2 and you got to jump to the RS3. It's a fucking gimbal. Yeah. The reason why I jumped is because the RS2 broke on me. If I would have had, I think the RS to the RS2, the same thing, it broke on me. But I told myself, I'm not switching gimbals until it breaks, because no matter what kind of gimbal comes out, it does the same job. Yeah. It balances your camera. Not balances, it makes it smooth or whatever, the shots. So just be very mindful on everything you're purchasing. If it's not going to do anything better for you, you're just buying it because you want it. You don't need it. Yeah. So you got to be very smart on that. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to be working on a fucking video just to pay off a gimbal. You want to maximize this because, again, it is a business at the end of the day. And tomorrow ain't promised, or next month ain't promised. You don't know what's coming next month, booking wise. So you guys got to be really smart with that and your savings, because we don't know what's next month going to be like. Yeah. So that's my thing. So yeah, anyways, bro, appreciate you for coming by.
Yeah, thank you, man.
If you guys like what you guys heard, if there's anything else you guys want to put down in the comments for any other creators, feel free to leave it in the comments below. And until next time, you guys just watch No Friend Left Behind podcast. catch you guys. Peace.